Last time I made like a best paintball guns under a certain price, it was $300. And in that video, I kind of just picked the best paintball guns that were under $300 and just kind of put them in a video. This time we're going to switch it up a little bit and make it $400 because, you know, it's the future and things just cost more. And we're going to narrow it down a little bit. We're going to say the best electronic gun, the best mechanical gun, the best mag-fed gun, and the best pump gun. And in that electronic category, the Mini GS is the best $400 paintball gun. I really like the Mini GS. I've been a fan of the Mini platform for a very long time. We first saw the Mini, I think just off the top of my head, I want to say in 2007, and it's seen refinements along the way. This newer current version is very similar to the original Mini GS, but this new one comes with a two-piece barrel. Having that two-piece barrel is really nice, as the original Mini GS, it didn't come with that. It came with a single-piece barrel, and that two-piece barrel just kind of makes the gun shoot maybe a little bit more accurate and helps quiet it down a little bit. The Minis are really just known for being extremely reliable. That's really why I kind of put them in this spot. It's just because they're so reliable and bulletproof. A lot of people that are buying these like $400 paintball guns are kind of newer to paintball, and I think going with something that's extremely reliable and simple like the Mini GS is a very good option. They're just really good guns. They come with a lot of good features too. They're going to have a clamping lever feed neck like a lot of the higher end guns. They have an on-off ASA, so turning the air going to the gun on and off is really easy. But I'm a big fan of the triggers on these things. I mean, they're not like spectacular, right? I mean, it's typical for the electronic guns, right? You can adjust how long the trigger is. You can make it shorter. You can make it heavier or lighter with the magnetic adjuster. But there's something about the feel of these. Just when I hold it and when I shoot these guns, for some reason, I can shoot it just as fast or even faster than some of the higher end guns, just because I like the way the thing feels in my hands. But it is a small gun, you know? I mean, you can see in my hands that if you got big hands like me, it's gonna be mini. So the Mini GS, absolutely awesome. And there's also a couple other options kind of in this price range. There's the Die-Rise CZR that's $325, so it's only $25 or $20 less, I should say, than the Mini GS, but I still think I'm going for the Mini GS. And then there's the ETHA 2. The ETHA 2 is $470 though, so it's kind of reaching that $500 price, so it's a little bit out of our $400 price, but it's also a very good option. If you want more paintball stuff like this, you can make this video small, subscribe, and then, you know, you get, you know, you're subscribed. And then mechanical guns. And if you ever, you know, frequent this channel or are not new to paintball, I think that in this mechanical category under $400, the option and pick is really pretty obvious. The Planet Eclipse EMEC. So I've made like so many EMEC videos on this channel. I love the EMEC. The EMEC is maybe the best gun in paintball. It's a very good price. It's $270 and shoots extremely well. I mean, it's going to shoot, I think, just as well as some of the higher end guns. It's low pressure, so it kicks very little. It's extremely quiet. It's really easy on paint, extremely air efficient, and very reliable. Does come with that lever feed neck, kind of like the Mini GS, but it's lacking some of the features that that Mini GS had. It does not have an on-off ASA, so taking the tank off and on is kind of annoying. It doesn't come with a good two-piece barrel. It's only coming with a single-piece barrel. That stock barrel on the EMEC is actually pretty bad. It's for sure the best thing, and right away, you probably should upgrade that barrel. Trigger is not adjustable. It's kind of just set how it is. But even with all those things, right, like coming with a bad barrel, we'll say, not having on-off ASA, the trigger's not adjustable, the way it shoots in comparison to the other like guns in this price range that are mechanical, so say like a Tippmann A5 or something like that, the EMEC shoots so much better. I mean, it's miles better in performance. So certainly under $400, Planet Eclipse EMEC is the best gun you can buy. And there's also a lot of cool upgrades. On this channel, we've done many videos kind of on like all the upgrades you can buy for the EMEC. Recently, we did like a cool double trigger one where you can actually cut off the trigger guard, replace it with a double trigger, and actually walk the trigger just as fast as you can kind of shoot these electronic guns. It's kind of crazy. Check it out, like, I don't know, somewhere up there there's like a link or in the description. And in the pump category, we're going to go with the Azoden KP3. So kind of like that Mini GS, the KP3's been out a while, but really not that long, maybe only like 4 to 5 years. And there's a lot of good things that the KP3 has. I mean, one of the nicest things about the KP3 is the dual pump arms. So when you pump or stroke this thing, when you like, I don't like the word stroke. I don't like that. We're not going to use that word. Having those dual pump arms on there just kind of helps to keep that pump handle in place. So when you're actually pumping the thing, it just feels a little bit smoother and a little bit more stable. Some of these cheaper pump guns are just going to have one rod on the side so that pump handle can kind of swivel and move around a bit and feel a little bit cheap. So those dual pump arms, really nice. Has that two-piece barrel like that Mini GS, so kind of coming with a better upgraded barrel already. Comes with an on-off ASA on the front of there, so you can just twist the knob and turn air on and off. An adjustable regulator, so you can easily kind of tweak and tune velocity and spring tensions if you really want to get in there and adjust stuff. But what's kind of funny is this isn't even really a Zoden's newest pump gun. They've actually released the KPC Plus. They released the KPC as kind of a cheaper alternative to the KP3, and then released this Plus version a few years later with some upgrades. So it does come with an on-off ASA just like that KP3, comes with a good lever feed neck. But the KPC has auto trigger, so you can just hold the trigger down and kind of pump it and the gun shoots. It just allows you to shoot the gun much, much quicker. But to me, I don't know. I don't like the auto trigger. I would prefer pump guns just not have auto trigger. Because to me, the whole point of a pump gun is pumping it and kind of shooting slower. If I'm able to like increase the rate of fire super high, I'll just use a mechanical gun. And I kind of like the features and like things that are on the KP3 a little bit more than the KPC. Like I like the pump handle much, much more on the KP3. It's just way easier to hold. I like the on-off on the KP3 more. I don't really find the, auto trigger that useful. So KP3, best pump gun under $400. And for magazine fed guns, we're going to go with the Tippmann Stormer Elite. And at this point, Tippmann actually make two magazine-fed guns. They make that full-sized Tippmann TMC and the full-sized Tippmann Stormer Elite. And the real only difference is just kind of how they look. Internally, they're exactly the same. They take the same magazines and pretty much everything's the same. But we're going to go with the Stormer Elite just because I like the way it looks. I think that I like the way the Stormer Elite looks a little bit more. I like that streamlined, kind of like slicker overall look. That Stormer Elite comes with these flip-up sights, which are made very well. You can adjust them, they flip up. You could totally remove them if you want. They're going to sit on that Picatinny or Reaver rail too, so you could add all kinds of different sights or scopes or flashlights or lasers or grenade launchers. Anything that will attach to that Weaver or Picatinny rail on the top of there or the bottom, you could put stuff on. You can also see that foregrip right there that you can slide back and forth to kind of add or make the gun longer or shorter, make the thing feel however you want. It does come with that adjustable collapsible stock that you can slide in and out also to make the gun feel a little bit longer or shorter. And the reason I like these and the reason that Tippmanns have been so popular for so long is really kind of two reasons, right? Their build quality. They're just built very well. When you pick these things up, you're like, man, these are built really solid. And for $200, I mean, it does feel really good. So that really good build quality kind of like makes them really reliable. So they're also extremely reliable. I mean, you can shoot these things forever. You could use this every weekend probably for 3 years, never service it, and it's probably going to work perfectly fine. One of the cooler things about these is you can kind of like disassemble them and still use them a little bit, So you could take the stock off, you could take that barrel shroud out, you could put a fake magazine in there, and you can actually shove a hopper on this. So while you could use it fully built up in magazine style, you could actually pare it down a little bit and just put a normal tank and a normal hopper on it to make it more like a normal paintball gun. It's going to be big, it's not going to be small like that E-Mech, but it's cool because it's versatile. And for only $200, you're getting a very, very well-made magazine-fed gun, and you can kind of, just turn it into a regular hopper classic paintball gun. Picking the Stormer Elite for this category is not that difficult, mainly because there's not a lot of magazine-fed guns out there. And the ones that are kind of expensive. Like I think the best one is probably going to be the EMF 100 from Planet Eclipse, but that thing's $520. And there's also the First Strike T15, which is really cool, and those things are $550. So they're a little bit more than this $400, but they're very good too. So that's the best paintball guns under $400. We had the Mini GS, the E-Mech, some Zoden pump guns, and then some Tippmann mag-fed guns. There's definitely a lot of other options out there. Let me know in a comment below. Do you have a preference? Is there another mag-fed gun out there I missed? Maybe I should have just used the pistol. Maybe the TIPX would have been a better option in the mag-fed category. I don't know. Let me know.